Hello, everybody, and welcome back to CADS. We're here to talk about the good, the bad, the things that happened in between. Should we start with the good? Jake Paul and Andrew Tate got their asses handed to them in the boxing ring. That's about the only good I can think of for the entire week. But there's been a fair bit of bad this week. So we'll talk about it, and we're going to start with A. How you doing, A?
I'm good, and you guys?
Yeah, pretty good, pretty good. Mr. Ashley Colley, our published author, how are you?
Thank you, gentlemen. I came here for cathartic relief, so please do that for me.
Cathartic. It's almost a form of therapy at the moment doing these podcasts, isn't it?
Yes, exactly. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. So we're going from a published author to a renowned musician. Hello, David. How are you doing?
Hey guys, yeah, I'm doing pretty well actually. I watched the match in the pub last night. Finished at 8:30 and somehow I got home at midnight. I've been very tired all day, so because I don't think between 8:30 and midnight I was just drinking lemonade.
Oh.
So yeah. Anyway, so yeah, it was a good evening, apart from the match.
apart from the stuff that happened before the
little
evening.
detail.
Okay, so I have a few stats for you. Tottenham have now suffered 11 home Premier League defeats in 2025, which is a new record for the most home losses in a calendar year.
For us,
Since 1915, I think.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Is that for
They
us?
picked up. That's
Sorry,
for us, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, obviously, I think Derby were worse than us, but I do believe that Burnley have more points in the Premier League at home in 2025 than we have, and they've only been in it half a season, which is really depressing. So we've picked up just 15 points out of a possible 54 at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and this is our lowest points total since 2008-2009 after 16 games. 22 points after 16 games. Can anybody name the manager or managers of the 2008-2009
Ramos
season?
Redknapp.
It was the Ramos Redknapp, yeah.
2 points.
2 points in 8 games. Absolutely. Boy, it's not great, right? It's not just me. I mean, I know I have my issues with our current management. They're coming for my loyalty card apparently because Thomas Frank says that anybody that doubts him is not a loyal Tottenham Hotspur supporter. So my loyalty card is in danger. But it's not just me, right?
Yeah.
Well, I thought I'll just jump straight in and say that I thought on Saturday, the fans were absolutely fantastic. Got right behind the
As
team.
Ever.
No, not as ever. But they were fantastic on Saturday, and I think it just shows that if the players show a bit of backbone and produce a bit of gufu, that's a Swahili word, a bit of energy and play some proper football, then the fans are just waiting for the players to do it, and they will get behind them. I thought I liked a lot of what I saw on Saturday evening, apart from moments of madness which cost us. But I actually feel strangely okay about Saturday night, to be honest. I was expecting us to get after the Nottingham Forest debacle. I was expecting a whooping, and it never looked like being a whooping. And I thought it was a match we could have won. I guess 4 stupid mistakes really cost us that match.
Yes. So, yeah, stupid mistakes we can definitely talk about. I mean, we're not just talking about stupid mistakes from our players here,
The referee was absolute fucking garbage. It was an absolute disgrace. It's a disgrace, as Mikel Arteta once said. It was an absolutely shocking display. Absolutely shocking display.
He should be banned. We should put a letter in. Do what Scouses and the Arse do. Never to be allowed back. Is Romero the only captain that's not allowed to speak to the referee?
I was going to ask this exact question. I completely. Hey, you're so right. What the heck?
He was actually pulling people away.
Yeah.
So he could speak to the referee, and then he gets. I mean, that was just awful. I couldn't understand that.
Yeah. Does anybody know the rule? I mean, I thought the captains. I thought it was supposed to be only the captains that are like talking to the refs. I suppose you're not allowed to call him a fils de pute or whatever, but which I guess is
Whatever the
probably
Spanish for that is.
filla de puta or something.
Fio de puta or something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, hey, I completely agree. I mean, I guess we don't know what he said, and I assume he said something he shouldn't have.
That's the only thing I think it must be. He must have stepped over the line.
Yeah.
Maybe he made some comment about the referee's honesty or something.
Yeah.
It's the inconsistency. Jota kicks a guy in the head, and then
Yeah.
he can go score a goal. Van Dijk is allowed to do what Xavi did to Solanke. It's a completely different thing. You got the armpit handball in a big game. It's like incessant with these guys, you know. And it happens in all the big games. It goes against us, and that's something else. That's like they're coming in with a preconceived something, you know. Not saying they're bent, but it's something affecting them the way they see the game, and it's just ridiculous. And you can see we get so worked up. Can you imagine busting a gut in the field and seeing those things go for you? I don't fully blame the players. Yeah, and Konate, man, like, yeah, Romero flicked his, what did he flick the hair on his elbow? Something so stupid like that, and nothing happens. The push, we've been told 2 hands in the back is a foul every time. That's one of the rules, and then that does, you know, we should.
I have mixed feelings about that one. I mean, I do think the referee got it wrong, but I think Romero was very silly to not challenge and to go for the foul. Instead of going for the ball and hoping for the foul afterwards, because he already knew that this referee was bent. Well, sorry, I think the ref was bent.
The referee was having a debatable in quality. Let's put it.
I think he was fucking cheating. I really do. I just think he was bent, and Romero must have noticed it by then. So I think like feeding the 2 hands in the back, he didn't challenge for the ball. He didn't. He went down pretty easily, and I just feel like I think he should be challenging for the ball and not giving the referee the opportunity to fuck you over when you know that that's what he's going to do. I'm really sorry, language is quite bad tonight. So
I don't fucking blame you. This is the thing about big games, is if you give the ref an opportunity to make a decision on something, it will occasionally go against you. I mean, I was livid last year when Van Dijk raked his studs down the back of Solanke's leg, and it was as blatant as anything, and VAR didn't even look at it.
No, it's insane.
Yeah, I think Jota put his studs into somebody's head. I mean, you're going to talk about blatant and then goes to score a winner. But the game itself, we played with 10 men from the start.
Yeah, from the start. Thank you. I was going to.
We played with less than 10 because I think it was more than him being absent, you know. But it comes from a good place with him. I think he's trying so hard. The crowd was up. Everybody was up for this game, and he was trying too hard. I've got a lot of faith in the young man, but we could see it coming. And unfortunately, he was having one of those days. But the team showed great fight, and everybody, I think, did well. Romero, I think, was probably our weakest player. And then you can point some fingers at Colomani. He had 3 chances. Top striker puts those away, and then nothing else matters. The whole game's different. Now pressures of Liverpool getting hiding again, and maybe we relax a bit. So we're gonna put those things away. With 10 men and 9 men, we look more like winning the game. And that was heartening, but man, the table looks atrocious.
The question for me is, were we good or were Liverpool bad? Because genuinely, I don't think I've seen a title defence as inept as this since Leicester won the league. Because Liverpool this season are particularly poor. And they spent, what's it, £250 million, £250 million on players, and brought in, Isaac, Wirtz, Kerkez, and the guy who came on got bashed in the face and taken off yesterday's name. I can't remember currently.
I'll say this, Stu. You're correct there, but there was intent from us. There was a couple of things that were different. we had intent and we looked to move the ball a little bit quicker. We tried to pass it around, little 1-2s. Only Kudus was slowing it down, but everybody else tried to move it around and shift them around. And I think if you go into every game and you're getting after people, they feel it, and the time that you have is less, and they look less good. So yeah, I think Liverpool are not great, but we did play. I still think they're better than half the teams in the league, at least, and we below that half level, right? So positive steps, I think.
The thing for me is I don't expect Tottenham to beat Liverpool every week. I mean, it'd be nice if we do it every so often. What I do expect is I expect us to step up against teams like Nottingham Forest. I expect us to actually go for it in games like that and to effectively roll over very meekly against Nottingham Forest, but be able to put in a significantly better performance against Liverpool. That bugs me.
Look, there's quite a lot of young players in this team, and I think young players struggle for consistency. They have matches where they're not on it, and that's young players. They perhaps don't concentrate as well, and I don't know. Maybe there's some of that in what we're seeing some of the time.
But it's also new regimes, new coaches, new structure with new players, young players,
new chairman, new CEO, new everything. I mean,
everything except new results.
Yeah, apparently, with Matt Wells leaving, Matt Wells is the last tie, apart from the players. Matt Wells is the last tie above the player level to Ange Postecoglou's time at Tottenham Hotspur. Everybody else who was at the club, I guess Johan Langer as well, but pretty much everybody else has gone. It's a very strange situation where effectively all the managerial positions have had a changeover. They're talking about bringing in a guy from Man City now who would actually be Johan Langer and Fabio Paratici's boss, if Paratici is still here, because he's been approached by Fiorentina. So, it's very, very strange that we've had such a huge turnover in such a short space of time. And maybe that's kind of what's leading to this dysfunctioning side that we've got, this dysfunctionment in the club. I've been over here in France so long, I don't even know whether dysfunctionment is an English word, but I'm taking it. We'll go for it.
I said every company, every organization, it feeds in from the top down, whether it's ethos and stuff, and uncertainty there is definitely causing uncertainty everywhere else. It's a difficult environment.
We've just been joined by Mr. Charlie Bewley. Hey, Charlie, how you doing?
Hey, Charlie.
Yes. Hi, guys. How are you?
Are you sat in your car? Or in the back of
Yeah, I
someone's
don't know
car?
how good this is going to be. I'm also on US data. So I'm in the middle of England on US data, picking up my parents from the station. I've got about 20 minutes. I just wanted to come on and rant.
Right. Well, if you're only here for a short amount of time, get your rant in now.
About 20 minutes. So anyway, how are you guys doing? All right. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Carry on.
No, get your rant in. Go ahead.
What's the general consensus on yesterday?
Well, Stu
I think we're
had
mixed.
Yeah.
I think we're a little bit mixed. So we see some people are saying, David particularly, and I think A was saying that it was a better performance and more encouraging. My question was, yes, whilst it was a better performance, why is it we're able to lift our game against opponents like Liverpool, but not against Nottingham Forest? We showed more fight. We showed a little bit more oomph, but at the same time, we still we weren't showing great attacking moves. We weren't cutting into them really well, pretty much until we went down to 10. At that point, we started to be a little bit more direct, try and do things a little bit faster, get it into Radoko Moani's feet a little bit more, and it seemed to work a little bit better.
Yeah, and I must admit, like when I saw the team announced, I kind of thought it was an okay team that he put out, but I was a bit worried because I couldn't see anybody on the left side, and I thought, so this is the same system that was a disaster against Fulham. And the other thing that I was a bit ticked off about was it's all very well dropping Richarlison, but dropping Richarlison against Liverpool, which is a team he absolutely hates and loves scoring against, was a bit of a strange decision for me. I know I'm a bit of a Richarlison fanboy, but I just didn't feel like that was the right time to drop him out of the side. So those are the two things that I ticked about. But I thought actually Jed Spence had a really good game, and he handled that left side really well, both attacking and defending. So the bad Fulham setup didn't repeat itself. But I kind of agree with Adesh that I was a bit disappointed with Muani's output. And I do think that's the sort of game that you want Richie in, because he loves scoring against Liverpool. He really does, and he did. So apart from that, I mean, what was it? It was the first goal. It was QT suicide pass. Was that the first one? Yeah. I mean, it's so frustrating. The second goal shouldn't have been given, but again, QT should have been stronger. He shouldn't be going down for a foul there. He should be challenging for the ball. And then appealing for the foul if he doesn't get it, but just going straight down for the foul was just amateur hour.
Isn't that what he did, though? Isn't that what he did? Didn't he go down because he was fouled?
Yeah, he went down. No, he went down because, well, I don't think the two hands in the back in that case looked like enough to put someone down. I think he went down to claim the foul.
It looked like a steadying action. He put his hands on his back to steady himself. He didn't. He didn't seem as though he put any force into it.
No.
And Romero seemed to go down very easily. I remember back last season when Vicario was getting some criticism, and it was just running around my head. It's like, oh, he needs to be stronger there. Was a statement, and I just felt he needed to be stronger there.
Yeah. And like, claim the foul if you don't get it. If it doesn't work out, then you go back and you claim the foul. But you don't go. You just don't give the ref, who, Charlie wasn't here, but who was clearly bent, the ref, don't give him the opportunity to not give the foul. There's not as there's incompetence and there's being bent, and that was beyond incompetence here yesterday. So no, I mean, frustrating result, but 3 moments of poor judgment by QT. Because I mean, it's a red card that's bloody stupid as well. Whatever you think about the softness of the yellow cards, again, just don't put yourself in that position.
Don't give the refs an opportunity to make a bad decision.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing with Xavi. We've seen things like that, and we've seen them be ignored. Virgil van Dijk against Dominic Solanke last year. But we've also seen it getting punished. And as soon as I saw it, I was like, that's a red card. He's just raked his studs down the back of his leg. Now, I know not everybody here thinks it's a red card. A certain person on US data happens to think it's not a red card. But I was not impressed with the referee. I thought he was particularly poor. He gave decisions to Liverpool that were very, very light, and then other times the Jed Spence went through and he got hacked down and nothing.
Absolutely.
And you're like, how are those two things similar? How do they line up? You're being extremely harsh on one side, but extremely light on the others.
Unbelievable. I mean, Jed Spence got through twice.
You're talking about the penalty claim.
It at least should have gone to VAR.
Yeah.
But this is the thing. If they feel it's absolutely a decision that needs to be checked, then they will ask him to go to the. But if the referee has made a decision like, oh, no penalty, it's very, very rare that they overturn that. Things like red card fouls and stuff like that, we see it quite a lot. Oh, you've missed it there. You haven't seen it. But this one, he said, I saw it clearly. It's not a penalty. But for me, he was clattered into in the box whilst trying to get past him. And I thought, okay, it might be a soft penalty, but I've certainly seen them given.
He actually would have got past him as well. He would have got past him.
Yeah.
The ball was.
He put the ball into space. Yeah. And it was the collision with the players that stopped him getting to it. So for me, it looked like a penalty. But again, I think.
And also, like Jed Spence, again, when he broke through and he got into the penalty area on another occasion, and they pulled it back for a foul that just absolutely wasn't a foul at all. I mean, it was mental how incompetent it was. And I say again, he should not be refereeing at this level.
It did seem to me that it felt almost personal with Romero. And I know that I've heard all sides of stories around what he did. I think Romero, I think it was Andy Kaplan,
Kapelov.
something like that.
Mr. Kapelov.
Yeah, he said that he should be stripped of the captaincy. I'm like, he is the only player on our team with, I mean, you could say Van de Ven maybe, but QT Romero is the captain of Tottenham, club captain of Tottenham. The problem here is it reminds me of when Dele Alli was getting a little bit. Dele Alli was fiery. It was part of his game. And certain pundits got on top of Dele Alli and said, you shouldn't be doing this. You shouldn't be doing, oh, that's typical Dele Alli. Oh, he's lost it again. And I'm like, it's who he is. You take that away. And when it did get taken away, Dele wasn't the same player. So I'm really cautious. I think he's done great over the past year, 18 months to curb that. He was in a fiery encounter. I do think the referee, there was moments where he was very card happy giving out Christmas card. He was just, and Romero, I think Romero got on a slippery slope with him, and it was only, I think Canate at the back for Liverpool knew exactly what he was doing. Something off the ball, landing on him with his knee, giving him a little something. He knew what he was doing. I think the referee should have gotten control of that a little bit quicker. I think it wound Romero up because there was it just felt like everything was going against not just him but the rest of the team. And that was one of the worst refereeing performances I've seen in some time as a result. And he stopped the clock. I think probably two minutes too early as well, which wound Richarlison up and a few others. It just seemed like he was wearing red, and I never usually say that about a ref. You can usually sort of mitigate one thing or the other, but he really was. It really wasn't a good performance at all. Sort of thing you should get pulled up for, I think. Not even go to VAR for the Ekitike goal was. No matter what you think, whether he massaged him, he pushed him, or whether he leveraged himself, that in slow motion, that is as much a foul as anything else you'll see out there for sure. Happens in the middle of the pitch is a foul.
Yeah. The thing is that every single goal is passed through VAR. So if they'd felt that there was something to look at, they would have said something. Every single goal is looked at by VAR. So he didn't need to refer it to them. They would have taken a look at it automatically.
It's just so weird. I mean,
every penalty decision.
I just don't understand how they can collectively be so shit. Because I just don't understand. I really don't. And I'm same as Charlie. I don't want to be wearing a tinfoil hat and stuff like that. But I'm starting to wonder sometimes. It's weird. It's weird. So. Yeah. Because the referee was totally fucking and VAR wasn't much better. I mean, if they're not looking at the Spence penalty, they're not looking at the second goal. But I don't understand.
I will say this: I think that something happened yesterday that wound us all up collectively. I'm talking about the players on the pitch. Something wound the players up collectively, and they all decided, right, that's it. We're going to start playing now. Fuck you. I think that red card actually, first of all, the worst part of yesterday is that those red cards happened and Thomas Frank can hide behind them and, claim some sort of, common enemy with the rest of the Spurs players. So it seems like they're united. I think
why is that a bad thing? Why is that a bad thing?
Because I think Frank's bought himself a week. I don't think anything yesterday reflects on Frank at all. He can hide behind this, hide behind that. Red card this, red card referee performance. But
you basically have decided that Frank's shit, and now you want the players to play shit to bear out your belief that he's shit, which is insane. I mean, I spent 2 years saying that Ange wasn't good enough, but every week I was saying I want him to prove me wrong. You want them to prove you right, and that's weird. You're almost hoping that we play shit, and that's weird.
I don't have to hope we're playing shit because we are playing shit. Yesterday, we get a red card. Somehow everyone feels hard done by, and suddenly the shackles are off, and the whole playbook goes out the window. You saw us playing football without the tether of whatever Frank is trying to impress upon these. I saw 11 players playing free for the first time. Yeah, great point. 10 players playing free for the first time. Maybe we should just field 10 players from now on, because I don't know. It seemed like they got their backup. That was the best thing about yesterday was the fact that Xavi got sent off, and suddenly all these players are playing untethered somehow. It's almost like it all went out the window. So for me, I'm looking at it going, wow, it's not the players. The players are good. The players are good. There's nothing wrong with the players. The manager is not good. He is not a good manager. He's not a Tottenham manager, and he can hide behind yesterday all he wants. But, you know, if he said it, I think in his post-match, we need to bottle this energy now, guys, and move forward. I'm like, it doesn't work like that. You don't bottle energy. You can't bottle energy. You inspire a team to be consistently motivated, both from within and with the manager and the whole club as a whole. Everybody yesterday got pissed off about Xavi's red card because they felt that it was unjust, and I felt it was unjust as well. I've never seen a red card like that before. I've never seen one that bad. That was studs to the back of your shin, boo-hoo. It happens literally all the time. I don't think there's any malice in it. I don't think there's any force, any danger that Virgil van Dijk was going to get an injury. That was not a red card, and it's just indicative of how soft the game has become. And VAR can look at that all they want, and they can go, oh, it's so dangerous. I'm like, what about the studs in the belly from that Villa player today? I think he kicked Luke Shaw in the balls or something. Anyway, that didn't even go to VAR. I digress. The point is,
I'll be honest. I thought that was a red card. We do see players get away with it, but every time I see that, I think that's a red card, and I think it should be punished straight away. Yeah. Anyway,
which one, Xavi or the Villa player?
He's been waiting to come in, so let's let him have a say. What you got to say,
Yeah, I'm not happy with Frank, but I would say that we were better than Liverpool from the start, even before the red card. That's my opinion. And we were still playing with 10 because Xavi was awful. But I thought we had better chances and the better game plan before his sending off. Do you guys agree with me or not?
Yeah, I do. I thought we were better than Liverpool despite Xavi, who was like very much the weak link. But maybe
he did not have a good game. Even ignoring the red card, he had a very, very bad game. And I'm a Xavi fan.
Yeah, but he might have grown into it if he hadn't, and that was, I thought, was a stupid foul because, again, he didn't need to do it. There was just no reason to go and do that. I just don't understand what was going through his head.
Yeah, it's called an accident.
Yeah, but also we want effort from guys, right? And effort from them means you put the effort in even when you lost causes.
Well, you've got to be a bit intelligent about the effort, though, and that wasn't.
Yeah. There wasn't, but I think it was over enthusiasm, not playing so well. He knows he needs frustration. The crowd's up, you up, young guy. I can see it. I feel for him. I think whereas it was a red card, I think like a really good referee recognizes the situation and play on, guys. Physical game, go for it.
Absolutely.
The problem was we had John Brooks as our referee and Stuart Atwell as VAR. And
exactly.
Stuart Atwell's not been a good referee for us in the past as well. Definitely.
I was just going to say that when you guys were talking about VAR coming in, it's not going to come in when Stuart useless Atwell is there.
Yeah. The thing is that Xavi has, he's been making a few rash tackles over the last few weeks. This is not a new thing for him. I mean, the silent member of the forum, Alistair Gold, has been saying a red card is coming for Xavi, and he was absolutely right. But even before that, he was having a very, very bad game. Probably his worst game for us. I think some players had their worst game of the season. I think potentially a couple of others had their two better games of the season. Jed Spence, I think, maybe had his best game of the season down the left.
Really
Pedro
good,
Porro actually looks to be playing himself back in some form. Wilson-Odobert, when I came in, I thought actually looked really good. Brennan Johnson, nice to see him back on the pitch. I mean, I know all he does is finish, but he actually set Randa Colin through for an opportunity. Was it Colin or Richarlison?
Richarlison.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Mohamed Kudus, really, really bad. As bad as we've seen him this season. You know, we just need players to get into form together and just.
Brennan Johnson did
together.
quite well when he came on.
I did. I thought so. Yeah.
I mean, he didn't have all that long. He didn't make enough, but he was involved in, I think, the Richarlison goal in the build-up. He almost put Richarlison through. I think it was him that put him through for the chance, where I think a faster striker than Richarlison probably would have scored from there. And he had a really good cross straight after he came on. He did really well. So, yeah, Van der Ven had a good game as well, I thought, generally. There were a lot of good games. I mean, we were undone really by QT on last night.
QT, that was QT's worst game of the season.
Yeah, but he was actually good outside of those. Three moments of madness. The pass, the going to ground for the foul, which was a foul, I agree, but he's just, you got to front up in those situations, in my view, and the red card. I mean, bummer. That's what we were undone. But right. I also thought we were better after Xavi got his red card. And I don't think it was.
Wait, I can't buy this, David. Okay, first of all, Romero, he's our best ball player on the park, right? I think we can all agree that nobody passes the ball forward like Romero. He is always going to play those balls. Yes, it was misguided, and it led to their first goal. But I would not change him from doing that, because without him, I don't think we have a forward playing ball player in the back six. Benton Curnow, he has vision, which is always where I said I think he would make a great six. He has great vision moving forward, and I don't think we have anybody who moves the ball through the middle of the pitch. So he plays some great passes. I'm gonna forgive him for doing one bad one. If I don't know what happened with the referee, but if he had just gone to VAR for that second goal, it wouldn't have been a goal. And he got sent off 4 minutes before the end as we were desperately searching for a goal for something silly.
And he got protesting no foul on the goal.
It's not Romero's fault that we lost. Sorry.
Well, I mean, like factually, I mean, I love QT Romero. I think he's a great player. But factually, he passed the ball straight to their players, and they scored straight after us. Factually, he didn't get the foul given, and he was weak for a header, and that led to a goal. And factually, he got a second yellow card. Like, the first yellow card was bloody stupid and shouldn't have been given.
You cannot blame this on. This was again. Liverpool were there for the taking.
Those are the facts.
Liverpool were there for. Wait, so it's nothing to do with Xavi and Xavi's over in exuberance? You don't think that had a bigger part to play in all of those things?
No, I think Xavi going off actually helped us because he was bloody useless.
Okay.
I tell you what, though, Charlie, your positivity tonight and your willingness to allow the defenders to make mistakes, you're one step away from growing a beard and calling us mate every 5 seconds. At the moment, that's where we are. So, hey, what you got for us?
A couple of things. First thing is, I think Kuti got his first yellow card for protesting the foul not being given. So it's an even bigger swing with VR not intervening if it was a foul, because then even if he gets a second yellow, it doesn't matter. But I think there's, coming back to his performance, he is our best player, and we need him to do that, and we wouldn't stop it. But it's also fine to say that it didn't come off for him in that game and it cost us. So that's where I am. I don't want him to change. It's going to go for you sometimes, and it's not. I think every player can improve their consistency, and it's one of those things. Yeah, I wouldn't want him to change, but it didn't come off for him, and it led to goals against us.
That's actually the second time, because I do think that there is an agenda against QT in the referees. That's the second time he's been booked to dissent, and he's the captain. He's supposed to be dissenting. That's what he's supposed to do.
You know, the other players aren't supposed to do it. So I don't understand, unless he's like, we mentioned it, I think, before it started, unless he's using, you know, insulting language or something, then he should be allowed to say that was a foul, you should go to VAR or whatever, feast of puke or whatever. So that's the second time he's had a yellow in different matches for that, which I think is completely unreal. And I think I saw a stat today where I think he's only made about 14 tackles. He's got 8 yellow cards.
8 yellow cards and a red.
Yeah.
And a red on 14 tackles. I mean, it's mental. There's definitely an agenda. And so, you know, I'm not firing, you know, willy-nilly at Cutie. I'm just pointing out that, you know, for me, he made 3 mistakes yesterday, and 2 of them led to goals.
We got punished for it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what happens. This is the thing. There are certain players in certain positions that can get away with making mistakes. But goalkeepers really can't get away with making mistakes, and central defenders are pretty much in the same boat.
Yeah,
you make a mistake, very, very high chance a goal is going to be scored.
Thanks, boys. Merry Christmas. I'll see you on the 28th or 29th.
See you, Charlie.
See you,
Cheers.
Charlie. Later, bud.
Cheers, boys.
Cheers, mate.
Have a good one. Bye.
Go for it.
No, that was it. Sorry, yeah. Lowering
that was
hand.
It.
Yeah.
Lowering hand. Okay.
Yeah.
It's been a rough old year. Go on, Ash.
For a while.
You have not. Go for it.
Actually, I was going to ask Charlie this. Do you guys think, since we sort of agree, I didn't watch the second half, that we seem to have improved after the sending off and be more competitive? Do you think it's actually, I don't think it's actually to do with Frank. I think it's on the players, perhaps the players wanting to play for the fans, wanting to play for themselves. And I'm sure Charlie would probably agree. It really didn't have much to do with Frank. I am also just generally not a big fan of a revolving door, but I sense that this team has sort of shut out Frank, some of the players anyway, and that he is a dead man walking. And the longer we go with it, it's not going to get any better for a while before it'll actually get worse before it gets any better. It's kind of sad. It's not the Tottenham I want to support, and makes me not want to watch the games when it's like this.
I thought we were better than Liverpool before the sending off.
Yeah, me too.
I think Liverpool,
which still begs the question: are they playing for Frank, or are they actually playing for themselves and the fans, whether it's before or after the sending off?
Well, I think that just depends on your cognitive bias going into the question. Like, you know, if you think Frank should be fired, then you'll say if the players play well, then it's not because they're playing for Frank. They're not playing for Frank. But if you don't think Frank should be fired, you'll think, well, you know, maybe he's actually getting to grips with the system and getting the players on board. So, but we don't know because we're not in the changing room.
Yeah,
well, that's what I was going to ask. Whether or not we are.
All I can look at is say, I mean, he set up the team in a way that I thought was a bit suspect, but in fact turned out to be good. And, you know, in the first 30 minutes before Xavi got sent off, I thought, you know, we would have been much better than Liverpool if Xavi had been playing well. And he was playing quite poorly, although, you know, other people say he was actually playing well in those first 30 minutes. And someone sent me some stats saying, you know, 16 out of 19 passes completed and things like that. And I'm you know what I'm like with stats. I kind of went, yeah, all right. I was looking at him passing the ball straight out into touch, miscontrolling and things like that. But okay, there is an argument that he was playing well.
It's not so much the 3 passes he did not complete. I mean, the 16 passes he made, none of them were particularly inventive. And the 3 passes that he did not make missed their target, and he was about 5 yards away from them. I mean, they were really poor.
I thought
there was one, where he was on the left-hand side and he was just trying to a soft touch inside the player, but he hit it so underpowered that it just trickled off his boot. And I can see how that happened. I've been in that position myself where you're trying to play a softball and you just don't
Oh, I
give it
remember
enough.
that. I remember that one. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that was a bad one, but there was one later on where he was over on the other side. He was over on the right, and he was just trying to knock it back. I think he was trying to get it to Porro, and he just knocked it straight out of play. He like, this is not, this.
Yeah.
I mean, he is. I still assert that he is still a fantastic player, and given a bit of time to adapt to the league and in a team that is confident, and I think that is a big issue right now, confidence in the side. I think in a team that is confident and has trust in him, then I think he will play a lot better. But we are dog shit at home. We're better away. In terms of results at home, we're 17th in the league if we just looked at home results. We're 4th if you look at away results. It's our away form that's saving us.
Yeah, no, but and I think we all know that. But I mean, I think the question is, I mean, is that the sort of performance where anyone might think, and I'll say right now that I do think that it's potentially we've turned a corner.
Oh, excuse me. You think we have?
I don't think that's us turning a corner in any way.
Okay.
I think that's for me. I think it's delaying what's going to be an almost inevitable decision, because I don't see us doing well against Crystal Palace. I mean, I expected a much worse result against Liverpool, but personally, I'm going to put that down to seeing a Liverpool side who was so very badly out of form. They really looked very, very bad.
Yeah, they were there for the taking.
They were there for the taking.
If they hadn't had 12 players on the pitch, 13 if you count VAR, then
if we'd been in form, if we'd been confident, then I think we'd have been much more likely to get something from this game. But just looking at the quality of the two sides, I expected us to lose. And again, losing against Liverpool, there is no shame in that. We've had much worse results under better managers. It's the results against Fulham, against Nottingham Forest, against clubs like that. It's what's going to effectively determine the fate of our manager. And if he can't get them up for those games as well as the big games, then I'm sorry, but it's just going to end one way. And that's
what's worrying to me, Stuart, is that we keep appointing wrong managers. Like, how many disasters in a row has it been now? From Poch, every single one has been a disaster.
Well, Ange wasn't quite a disaster. He was kind of half.
I'd say all but one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he was a disaster in the league. I think the players won that.
Well, in the league, yeah, but he won us that. He won us that cup.
He didn't win us Europe. I mean, Van der Ven even said it. The players took over the tactics for the Europa League.
He said the players went and had a word with him and discussed it. But he has always said,
and according to Van der Ven,
yeah,
Ange said, "No, yeah, okay, you're right, but you guys on the field, you do it."
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
But he's always done that at the clubs he's been at. He's always wanted input from the players and listened to the senior figures within the club, and they are senior figures within the club, despite Van der Ven's young age.
We haven't had a consistent manager since Poch, and before that, Redknapp for a little while. That's it in a very long time. And
absolutely,
whether it's ENIC or whatever they've rebranded, it's like we still get that wrong. And we talk about things filtering down from the top. We can't get that right. Yeah. We're always on the back foot.
But I mean, I also think that our players are not as good as we think they are. I mean, like you said, how many managers is since Poch? 5, 6? I don't know. I can't count. It's an awful lot of managers.
Frank's the 5th, I think.
Okay.
Are we including interim managers?
No, not the caretakers.
If it's interim manager.
We're not
going to include Stellini and Mason.
No.
Yeah, because then it would be like 6.
Yeah, and I'm looking at...
We've had Mourinho, we've had Nuno, we've had Conte, we've had Ange, and now we've got Frank.
Right, okay. Yeah. And I just think that I think we get all excited when we spunk 53 million on a Xavi. So we kind of convince ourselves that he's going to be good, or we get excited when you spend 60 million or 65 million on Solanke, and you get new players in, and you just want to believe that they're good, and so you just close your eyes to the fact that actually maybe they're not all that good, and the squad building since before Poch left has been an absolute fucking disaster. I mean, it's been a disaster. I've said this on another pod. There is not one single position where we've upgraded from the Poch squad. There's not one single player in the current squad that we get into Poch's team. Not one single one, really. And that's unbelievably bad squad management. You know, we've gone backwards. And during that time, the people that used to be our rivals, you know, Arsenal are spending 100 million on this player, 100 million on that player. We're happy if we spend 50 million. You know, it's not sustainable. It's not sustainable at this level. It does not sustain you as a top 5 team. And, you know, we got lucky with Poch because we had a crop of youngsters come through and they all worked out. And we just think that's going to work out again. So let's get Tell in, and let's get in Odegaard, and let's get in Xavi, and hope that they come good. But, you know, we needed number 10 right now. We didn't need number 10 that might come good in April. Madison might be back in April. You know, we needed one
Madison
for like.
Might be back for the FA Cup final. That's about as good as you can hope for.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. You know, we needed. I mean, I know I keep dunking on Xavi, but in some respects, it's not his fault. It's never his fault, is it? You know, we needed someone that was ready straight out of the box on the first day of the season to hit the ground running. And we didn't get him. We spent 52 million, which sounds like a lot of money, but actually isn't all that much money in Premier League. And every single club that we're competing with, when they identify a weakness in their squad, they put the money down and they buy the player that they need. Every single one of them does it, except us. So, and I just think, you know, we've got this like mishmash on the left wing. I don't know well, it's such a mishmash that on Saturday night, we started without anybody on the left wing. That's how shit our recruitment is. We've got
not for the first time this season. Did the same against Fulham.
Yeah, we've taken a punt on Muani because it was free and he was available, and we might be able to buy him. But if he works, we won't be able to pay for him anyway. And you know, we're already halfway through the season, and I've not seen anything that makes me. I think he's got a lot of potential. He's had some good moments, but that's not, you know, the Premier League striker that we needed. It's not an Isak, is it? It's not an Etikite. It's not a Voldemort. You know, is it?
Well,
he's not.
His goal scoring record probably stacks up well with Isak right this season. So
that's true. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so we bring players in, and they're just not at the requisite level. I'm sorry, they're just not. I mean, you know, you can bring a Tell in and develop him if you've got somebody in the position that's already doing the job. And that's, if you take out the centre backs who are absolutely fantastic, that's the same story all up and down the pitch. We need a new goalkeeper. We need backup left back. We need a backup right back. We need a ball playing central midfielder. We need a number 10, and we need a striker, and we need a left winger. That, after 8 years and 5 managers, we need to sign 7 players before I even think that any manager would have a chance of succeeding in this job with the expectations. They are not that good.
No, this is the thing I keep coming back to. Lots, you know, we've seen clubs bring in managers who are just not adapted or ready for the club they're managing. So Nottingham Forest brought in Ange, and you know how much of a fan I am of Ange, but that was not a squad that was set up to play under him. We saw Russell Martin at Rangers, you know, that was not a squad that was going to work for him. They've both changed. You know, they brought in managers who are a little less subtle, shall we say, and suddenly things have improved. They're playing to their players' strengths. And I think if we had a manager that was willing to play to our players' strengths, then we would be doing better. The reality is that I don't think that Thomas Frank gets the best out of the players we've got. I don't think he's developing the players that we want to see developed, because Matty Tell, if we're going to be expecting him to be able to lead the line, he needs to play games. He's not 5 or 10 minutes here or there. He needs more time on the pitch. You know, the dropping of Archie Gray every so often, the not playing Berreval every so often. You know, if we're going to pitch our tent on improving young players and being able to build a side, then we actually need to play these players, and we need to play them together and give them a chance instead of just being pushed into it.
It's indicative of uncertainty. You don't know who your best players are. You've got a mishmash squad and you're trying to make it work, maybe not the way you envisaged. And yeah, I think that's what we're seeing right now. and there's uncertainty everywhere. And then now coming back to David's point, is like what makes it worse is that when we do spend whatever money we're spending, it still doesn't feel properly thought out. So you're not maximizing whatever you're spending, even though you're spending less. You've seen other teams do well with less because their recruitment and their scouting is better.
Yeah.
We don't do that either, so we're hurting ourselves in every way.
Brentford went out and got, is it Igor Thiago from Brazil? Nottingham Forest got their Brazilian striker, both of whom have adapted very well to the Premier League and, you know, look dangerous. We don't seem to be able to pick up players like that. We don't seem to be able to identify them and bring in players under the radar. It probably doesn't help that we do ridiculous things like tell the press that we've got £100 million to spend in January, because as soon as you say that, the prices go up. You know,
but don't you think like £100 million? It's a bit like that. What was it in Austin Powers? $1 million. You know, it's like 100 million.
Yeah,
like, yeah, all right.
100 million doesn't go far, but
doesn't go very far.
It over, but it is potentially 5 players coming in. At, you know, the first instalment of 80 to 100 million. You know, for 5 players, 20 million each.
I mean, you know, 100 million is just quite an interesting figure because it's what we sold Kane for.
Yeah.
Right, and
it's also how much we borrowed from the bank ahead of pre-season ticket sales and television money.
Right. Okay. But
we borrowed 90 million. So in effect, the Lewis family have put about 10 million extra on top of that.
But I think what I wanted to get to was 100 million is what we sold Kane for. To replace him, we've signed. I don't know how much we signed Tell for. Was it 39 million or something? 30 million. We've signed
38, 39 million.
Yeah, we signed Solanke. And let's say Richarlison too, while we're on it, because he was. I know he came before, but he was supposed to be there to take over. So we spent about 150 million. How much did Liverpool spend on Isak?
86, 94, something like that. One of those.
No, 130.
Thank you.
How much? 130.
That's I think it's 125 actually. I can't. But anyway, over 100. My point is, for a striker, Premier League level striker, established, you can buy 3, 4 strikers, and none of them are good enough. What's the point? What is the point of spending 60 million? You're not going to get a good enough striker at 60 million from another Premiership side. You just won't. That's not what those are not the figures. It's like, you know, if you get 3 women pregnant, you don't have a baby after 3 months. You know, it still takes them all 9 months, and it's not because you spent 150 million on strikers. You've got 150 million striker. You know, and this is what we do over and over in every single position. We signed 4 left wingers. We signed 3 strikers, and we don't have one of them that's good enough.
I'm not sure using Isaac as an example to justify spending large money really works. He scored 2 goals this season, so
he's
in very big people. Yeah, no, that's true. That's true. And you know, being fair, there are reasons why Liverpool are struggling. They had a pretty significant emotional hit over the summer, and it's clearly still holding them back. They're still struggling, and you know, just from Jota is still in people's thoughts. Because you can see it when they score a goal, they often do like the PlayStation celebration, things like that. So, you know, that kind of thing probably does take a year or more to take over. I mean, grief hits people hard. Well, we've seen that within our own little community. Grief hits people hard. And I did the Yaps podcast this week, and I said it then and I'll say it now. People, if you're struggling, talk to someone. Absolutely go and talk to someone, because you know, a lot of people do not understand how much grief can hit you. I've been very lucky. I've not experienced it yet, but I mean, it's coming. And when it does, I can guarantee I will not be coping particularly well, and I shall be talking to someone with it. So please, people, you know, go talk to someone. But, you know, going back to Liverpool, I think they are struggling emotionally. And I think we're seeing that in the side. But they spent a lot of money, and I think the pressure is just building up from that as well. You spent a lot of money and you're getting no results, so the manager looks poor. There's a reason why they called this game El Sacico. It's either going to be Frank or it's going to be Slot. I think both of the managers came out effectively with a stay of execution. Slot because they won the game, and Frank because 2 players got sent off. We can't judge Frank on this game.
I mean, I think also Frank because I thought we were better. We were better before the red card, and we're still inconsistent. If I look back over the last 5, what's the last 5 games? We've got Liverpool, Nottingham Forest, Copenhagen, Newcastle,
Slavia Prague,
and Brentford.
Slavia Prague.
Slavia Prague and Brentford. And I think out of those 5, 1 completely unacceptable performance, which was Nottingham Forest. 2 performances that were all right, I guess, which is Newcastle and Liverpool. And Brentford and Slavia, I thought we were, good.
I still don't call the Newcastle performance good. We had 2 shots.
No, I said it was okay. I said it was okay.
I wouldn't even say it was okay. I thought it was a pretty bad performance. There is one more stat before we call it a day, because it's getting late. Before we call it a day, there is one more stat I want to read out to you. Tottenham have the highest number of critical ball losses in the league, 20th out of 20. We are the worst in terms of losing the ball in dangerous positions, indicating turnovers in dangerous areas that often lead to counterattacks. And we've seen that.
I'll give you one better. We've made the most mistakes that have led to goals in the league. Yeah. Most individual mistakes that have led directly to a goal.
And I think that's because that is on Frank, and I think that is on Frank consistently chopping and changing his system, so players are not used to it. So that's where mistakes come from. And I get the feeling that over the last few matches he started getting down to the same system, or the same system with tweaks. It is looking like it. So that might be good news as well.
Same back 5 players, effectively. But I mean, there's been chopping and changing of the players in front of them.
It's not the personnel, it's the system that I mean.
Yeah, maybe. But certainly we've had games where, we've got a left winger. Oh, no, we don't have a left winger. We're playing a forward out left, but he's pushing up to join up. Now we're playing Xavi out left. Now it's.
But I don't feel like there's the same level of tinkering anymore as there was sort of a month and a half ago, where it's just every single match is a brand new system that they have to try and learn. I think we're getting closer to, and I think that will give positive results too, because I think that will lead to less mistakes.
We shall see. We've got games coming up. So the next one we've got is Crystal Palace, and we shall be back the day after that. We'll be having a little chat, a nice friendly one, hopefully smiling.
When is that match?
28th.
Okay, I'll be travelling back from England, so I'll miss that.
I believe it's the 28th, so we'll be back on the 29th.
Yeah.
It's not going to be great. Yeah, I'm worried. I continue to be worried. Yeah, 28th at 4:30.
Okay, I'll miss it.
Yeah.
Okay.
You'll miss it.
I'll probably be glad I missed it.
Quite possibly. All right, gents, let's call it a day there. I've got some editing to do tonight, and then I've got a busy day tomorrow. So, yeah, let's have some fun. Let's enjoy it. Everybody take a breath. Talk to someone if you need to talk to someone. I will continue to beat that drum. And as always, gents, thanks for joining us, and come on, you Spurs.
Pundits just chuckle, ignore them alas. The CADS chat shit. To the left and the right, we're taking a hit, so you know it's true. Hear the banter ignite. Raise your voice loud, shout it out tonight. The CADS chat shit. We'll sing it again with a smile and a grin. never end. Last week we claimed it'll be 5-0 for sure. Now we're debating if we'll score at the door. Did you see that last miss? What a fiery debate as we pull up our chairs and we narrow our fates. Hot takes flying high, we're the kings of the pub, while the lads on the pitch just need a good rub. From the top of the table or right back to the ground, you'll hear us all chatting that familiar sound. The CADS chat shit. To the left and the right, we're taking our hits. Oh, you know it's true, hear the banter ignite. Raise your voice loud, shout it out tonight. The CADS chat shit, we'll sing it again with a smile and a grin. Oh, here's to the boys, let's make it a trend. With a wink and a nudge, let the fun never end. We'll argue with a passion like it's do or die, with half-baked logic and a mischievous eye. Trust me, mate, we'll climb up the